He's also a brilliant YouTuber and puts out a lot of helpful content. So here are some of the reasons why you can choose cybersecurity: high demand, job security, competitive salary, work variety, and fulfilling work. The national average salary for information security analysts is of $113,000. Overview of the course: theory introduction, security refresher, security frameworks, security regulations and standards, security operations signals. Then you have these great labs with Azure, logging and monitoring, Microsoft Signal, secure cloud configuration content. So if you're interested in a course, click the link in my bio and use my code to get 10% off your course. Yo, what's good, everybody? Listen, we worked out the kinks. We starting on, I think we started a little late, but we good. We got everybody in the background. But first show of 2025, and we plan to go live hopefully about once a week. We're gonna try once a week. I really would like to do two. Good way to connect with y'all. But let's bring up our panelists today. We got Miss Cybersecurity. Actually, let me just do this. Bring everybody up just like this. Let me unmute everybody.
Hey, what's up, everybody?
Hey.
All right, cool, man. So I guess we actually can start off, and we can actually just go off the cuff with this one. But TikTok. Lee is the only person I know that doesn't use TikTok. If y'all don't know who Lee is, he's right there at the bottom.
Yeah.
Look at her. Okay, she's fashionably late. As somebody who is in UX is, let's add Justice to the stage.
That is not a good introduction, but hello, everybody. That's crazy. You literally said hop on when you want to, and I have to eat my dinner.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But you came like right after we just popped up, so I was like, perfect.
Oh, really? Okay, cool. So I'm like, dang.
No, we just started.
Am I able to drink my drink or no?
You good? I got my cup right here too.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
How you doing?
You're supposed to get some cold weather tomorrow.
Who?
We are.
Why?
Yeah, it's supposed to be like 20 degrees.
I know you lying.
I'm telling the truth.
Yeah. But TikTok, it's supposed to be banned on Sunday.
I was just talking about that literally 20 minutes ago with my friends. I'm like, are they gonna do it or not?
They not.
Or
I'm
not.
supposed to hear about Red Note and all this Mandarin.
I'm not going on no Red Note.
I'm not going on there either. Y'all finna get all my info.
What is the other one people was talking about? It's some about lemon something.
Lemonade?
Yeah.
That's still TikTok though, right?
I don't know. I just know
It's ByteDance. It owns it.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's like TikTok is just a little tiny bit different.
Yeah,
We're actually already talking about that. Let me actually go to this status real quick because Xavier actually was talking about this, and I can just share it. So this is what he said. Let me see if it's not on the screen yet. Let me look. Can y'all see it?
Yeah.
Yep.
Hey, for some reason I'm hearing an echo. Do you hear an echo from me?
No.
Okay, I just clicked on echo cancellation. That's why I was like, just wanted to check.
Oh Lord. Whatever y'all do when y'all watching, don't look at the chat. But it says Red Note's not only tracking your every touch on the app to train the algorithm, but it's doing face and object detection. So it's tracking you and your surroundings for further analysis. So y'all don't know, this is Xavier. Xavier's been on the show, and he just did this on a whim. This is what he does. Matter of fact, I might shoot him a text, see if he actually up. Well, he should be up. He's 2 hours behind us in San Diego. But look at, like, that thing got popular, and everybody's like, you doing it wrong, and all this other stuff. And it was cool, but I think this kind of stuff Lee like right here. Don't you, Lee?
Well, you gotta get smaller, so
let me see if I can zoom in right
here.
Great.
Look like he analyzing what the app is doing in the background.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and he had posted, what was he posted the other day? Right after he posted that, it showed it going to I think to Asia. And funny enough, while we even talking about this, who was that? Temu and somebody else was suing China for collecting their data in the way that they wanted to. I just didn't add it to the thing because I felt like we already know what it is with China. And I mean, everybody else got that data, but the big issue is people say, well, it's with China, but we also know they're selling that data here. But I guess what's the saying about you rather trust the devil you know than the devil you don't know.
Yeah.
I think. But on a serious tip, though, when it comes to TikTok, I do feel for I don't think it's going to actually go through because Trump wants to like pretty much extend the ban, I think like 3 months. So he can technically probably be the hero saying I saved TikTok or something like that. You know how he is. But it's a lot of creators are like, I know it's like one dude I follow, his name's I Game You Watch. I think he like quit his job and like he a professional streamer where he play video games and stuff. And TikTok helped him do that. And so like a lot of people built a living around that, even though that's not what you should do because you don't own the apps. You should try to own like your customers' information, your subscribers with like a mailing list or something else you can spin off so you can have access to them in the event that this happens. But a lot of people, it's their first time crack at it and they're getting easy money. So hopefully for them, they can pivot. But I will say a lot of the easy stuff that y'all was able to do on TikTok do not fly on YouTube. That same type of content don't really hit like that. You're going to have to put a lot more thought into your content. So that's just food for thought. That's why my content rarely hit on TikTok.
Or Instagram either. It don't hit like that on Instagram.
Well, I get better views on Reels than I do on TikTok most of the time.
Oh, you know what? With Reels, they just said that they're going to have like you can see your friends, all the things that they like.
I seen
that. It's like everything's going to be public. So you can actually follow.
I seen that too. Yeah.
What one of your friends is liking.
But they used to do that in the old Instagram, right?
I was just going to say it did.
Yeah.
It definitely did. Yep.
That and they used to do that on X. X was notorious for that.
Yeah. Well, X or like Twitter.
Twitter.
Okay.
I think the people who are making content on TikTok are gonna be mostly bothered by all of the copyright violations that YouTube is not going for that.
Yeah, you can't play any music.
Yeah.
You know what? I mean, you got to know how to do it. So, like, you're only supposed to have copyrights, like, but I think 60 seconds, you got to stop it and do something to the video. You got to make sure you're on point with it. Or you can work something out with whoever is the people submitting the claims, and maybe they let you rock. But for the most part, yeah, I didn't have people upload like my whole videos before on YouTube.
Yeah,
like,
but you can't work it out with Universal Music Group. You can't work it out with them.
That's actually pretty funny. I think all the stuff is pretty funny, if we're being honest. But let's kind of talk about the main thing that I think everybody want to come here for. And by a show of hands, who's all work for a finance company or banking?
I used to.
Still do.
I guess a little bit.
Are you incriminated by the title? You don't work for them right now, do it? Okay, cool. I want to make sure I don't like getting nobody in trouble for whatever I'm gonna say. And all these thoughts are my own and not the panel's. They don't belong to whatever company that I made or may not work for. Confidential. I hate when people hit me up like, "Hey, can you get me on the Confidential?" Bro, I don't work at Confidential. Stop asking. Man, it'd be all type of stuff people be sending me. Let's see. Let's share this real quick.
Yeah, I seen your post about that, HD. You talking about like the people trying to get you jobs or something like that, and then tell me about Confidential.
Yeah. People don't even know me, or they ask me, am I hiring? Hey, what they'll say, I'll make a post. Hey, can you show me where to find the jobs at? No.
Can you show me where to find the jobs at? Is such a loaded request.
Right.
Like, what does that even mean?
Like,
I can't find one. I can't even find the job board for Confidential.
Oh, I've been trying to get in for 2 years, but I look at I don't know, like I said, some people shoot themselves in the foot, and then some people, they doing the right stuff, it just ain't happening for them. But let me start reading this. JP Morgan Chase latest company-wide survey of employee opinion showed that work-life balance was a key frustration for workers, an issue that has taken on new relevance at the bank in recent days. On Friday, the company told employees that it would implement a new 5-day in office mandate in March, shifting from a 3-day policy. In the days since, frustration has mounted for some employees who say the new mandate will pose challenges. Of course, it'll pose challenges. Now, I know at the Plano location, like for the people who got kids, like they did have a daycare, but I don't think you could bring them there every day. I think you could get like a week or two where you could take them to like the daycare and whatnot. But even just in DFW, all them people don't stay near Plano. They probably already had their times mapped out when they would come into work, but now in 5 days a week, and that's just here. I mean, I think that's a national mandate. So just imagine everybody else commute when they got people in Ohio. I think they got New York. They probably got some other locations where they have like some hubs that. Let me put this on D&D. But some employees have held private conversations about the possibility of forming a union. Vance has learned, some said in the interview, that they were reading up on a small union organized at Wells Fargo, where the negotiation process for a contract between executives and union employees is underway. Now, how do y'all feel about unions? I've never been a part of a union, and although I think it could be beneficial, I can see also where a union could hinder people.
I have no experience with it, so I don't know.
Same.
Me either.
Like I know most of the auto industry, it works for them, blue collar, they stick together and they get their raises. But one of the allures of working in the tech industry is sometimes based on whatever skill set you have, you can write your own ticket. But the time you start talking about unions, they can start capping what you make and all these other things. So it's always a catch-22. Like, I mean, you might say at least you can't just be fired just because they want to fire you. But then, hey, with the way that they've been raising prices out here, you won't have a high enough salary to go stay nowhere.
Yeah, I remember for Delta, they were having some issues with the union where the pilots were asking for more money, and it isn't called a strike, but it's called like something along that lines, where they're just like making their demands. So I got to see like the exact verbiage for it, because when I talk to the Delta employees about strike, they say, no, that's not exactly it.
The people that I know who were a part of unions were very like gung ho, like they got my back. Like I feel good about. I don't understand the context, but they felt supported in being in a union.
Yeah, so that's what I can see the benefits of that. But let's keep on reading. Some staffers have internally passed around a Google form created by an employee, which poses a series of questions about whether colleagues will support an effort to organize a union and how they view the office policy. Worker unions in the financial services sector are rare, and gathering enough support amongst employees may be a long shot. Now, that's facts. When I used to work help desk, I was only getting like 20 an hour, but we did more work than all the other departments at the building, and we stayed busy on calls. So we had to have a clearance to do the role. And I was like, look, if we just tell them, hey, for 20 minutes, we're not answering calls until we get a raise, we can win, because they can't just bring everybody in here to do the job. Ain't nobody want to rock with me. Like, hey, this is good enough for me. I was like, all right, that's why some of y'all still there. Hospitals and ports have strong unions. Yeah, but I wonder if the tech workers are like that. Yeah, I worked at JP Morgan Chase, also a trading floor support. I hated that. A spokesperson for JP Morgan declined to comment for this article. Employees began expressing open frustration on Friday. The company shut down some employees' ability to comment on an internal firm-wide forum when an announcement about the new policy was posted. Employees have written more than 300 comments where their full names are attached in response to the memo, many negative. One employer later described the pushback as a brewing civil war. I've always taken pride in how our firm leads the way and it benefits and culture, yet I struggle to see how this move will strengthen our organization or positively impact our people, one employee said in a public post on LinkedIn. While I have little confidence that me raising concerns will reverse the decision, as a senior leader with a decade of service to the firm, I feel responsible to voice my perspective and stand with others who share these views. Let's see what Jamie Dion say. We recognize that switching from hybrid to 5 days a week in the office may be disruptive and require adjustments for some colleagues, the memo from JP Morgan said. Once your location is ready, if you need a bit more time to accommodate the new schedule, you should discuss your needs with your manager and get their approval. The memo was sent by the operating committee, which includes JP Morgan CEO Jamie Dimon and other top executives. The pushback is a rare instance of vocal employee criticism of the bank. Dimon has served as JP Morgan CEO for nearly 20 years, amongst the longest tenured bank chiefs, and has become the most high-profile and vocal executive on Wall Street. He is seen among many employees and even among competitors as the voice of the banking industry. Other large companies such as Amazon, Goldman Sachs, and AT&T have implemented similar return to office policies. It's a return to pre-COVID norms, even as many companies thrive financially during the pandemic through a combination of remote and hybrid work. Let's see, because this is a long article. I ain't trying to bore y'all. Yeah, stop sharing it. So normally too, what I believe companies do when they're trying to force people to come into the office, they really want to force some people to quit.
Yeah.
They know everybody not gonna come in, because that's what happened with Amazon. Like they pretty much had people come in and they was like, nah, we ain't coming in 5 days a week.
It's
Now,
definitely soft layoff.
Now go ahead.
I was saying it's called soft layoff.
Yep. Now when I was at JP, they didn't say how long you had to stay in the office. So I would come in the morning and then leave about 12 and 1 because traffic used to be real bad on 380. I would say on my lunch, I would pretty much just go back home. Now
but they probably gonna be checking back swipes. That's
That's
usually that's usually what happens when they have to go back to office. They'll be like, you need to return by this date, and they'll see the population hasn't increased, and then they'll start saying, okay, we're gonna be checking badge swipes.
Yeah.
Now I believe now Chase actually monitors the user's activity while they're at work. From what I recall from research.
Yeah, they strict. They're real strict over there.
Yeah, it's about control. They did the same thing with Amazon and Google. So they were just trying to see, like, are they swiping their badge, getting coffee, and then leaving to go back home? Because they really want them to come into the office so that way they can get on the phone with everybody in another office across, in another state or another country. So you're just kind of going into the office to do something that you can do from home.
The funny thing is, like, you really rarely get anything done at the office.
That's why I don't get it. You spend so much time, if there's a good culture, you spend so much time talking.
Yeah.
Agreed.
But one thing I will say,
you go see somebody you haven't seen in 2 weeks, a month, or however long it's been. Now y'all at lunch for 2 hours. Like, then you got to go home and still work, finish the work you were supposed to do that day.
Yeah, in-office jobs to me is not good for people with ADHD. Like me, I can't do it. I'm not productive at all in the office.
I feel the same way. If I have important stuff to do, I'm gonna be at home.
Yep.
I was talking to one of my old managers. It's like probably a year or two ago. He told me that, I hired you on to do your work, and that's just the bare minimum. But it's like something else that you need to do to be able to stand out. So, like, you can do your work and then go home and then, nothing happens. But then when you go up and you interact with like the senior level leadership, you interact with other teams, cross-functional teams, and then you show and try to gain influence. Like, I like to do public speaking, so I go up on the stage and stuff like that. And that's how I've been able to stand out more in my own job. I'm going into the office right now. I'm hybrid, but I enjoy it because, like, the people who I interact with on a daily basis, even though none of them are on my team, but I interact with like the senior level leadership and just kind of talk to them, and then they give me free food and stuff like that. And I'm like, okay, cool. I come into the office for like a few hours, then go home. Or if you guys are having a party with drinks later on after work, sounds good to me.
Got a point.
Yeah. No, I definitely agree. I know, like, I think I made a tweet about this, but I was saying for the people who early on in their career, if they do want to promote and go up like that, because matter of fact, remember when we talked about Dale in the return to office, and it was like, hey, you're only going to get promoted if you come into the office. So I'm like, hey, if you're early in your career, no kids and stuff, by all means, go in. Because that's the thing. Everybody don't want to move up the ladder. They just want to make them go home. And I ain't mad at it because it's too much shit in the job and you got to do to do all that. I know. Like, if going into office was like how it was when I worked for Optiv, it was fun. I mean, you come in, do your work, or just walk around, go chill, get a little sun. But it wasn't much like it wasn't a lot of meetings. Like I don't care for meetings, and then if it is meetings,
Now
like
we
three
talking
phones.
about
You next?
Hey,
Go.
Yeah, I got
HD.
what's going on.
Amber Alert.
Yeah, somebody missing.
and it's always it's
I just
bad.
got it too.
So something else to add on to it too. So I don't know if you ever saw, it was a tweet a few days ago, and they were talking about the H-1B debate, and it had something to do with, you go into the office, you get on the call with people from another country, and then they are in their own office having private meetings, talking in their own language without you being in attendance, and they're getting more opportunities and they can climb the ladder. So I thought about that and I was like, okay, so you going into the office, and then if your whole team isn't there, you kind of like, how are you able to climb the ladder as well, other than by mixing and mingling with like senior level leadership? Because I mean, like, you can get work, you can get tasks, but they may not give you like the extremely impactful or the highly important things. They may give you like the, oh, you need to do like pull requests, or you need to do user issues. But like when stuff breaks down, they may not give you that. They may give you some, some everyday tasks that you need to do.
Yeah, like so.
Yeah.
We had the time when senior leadership would come into town and we get to interact with them, or I did something purposely for our client that got me notoriety. But I mean, for the most part, I don't know. I think honestly, I think when you work in places that's ran by like a lot of boomers, that's when like your disdain for being in the office starts to show, because they're just different, man. They don't they so old school or whatever. Like
I always say still, it does depend on the work culture. Like if the work culture is not where it's at, then this isn't going to be a good experience for your employees. And if you're not willing to spend money, because if you're bringing them into office, then, make it worth their while. What's going on? Are they able to have some social events so folks can actually get to know one another? Or is it just come in, no one's talking to each other? We all hate it here. Can't wait to go home. Might go home on lunch. It's about the culture and what you're willing to do to improve that work culture. Because it can be small stuff. It don't have to be a pizza party, but it can be things that people can do, micro activities that they can do to, foster collaboration and conversation.
Yeah, especially if you have like people who are introverted, or like a lot of us, I was always the youngest person in the room, like the youngest person in the office. Everybody's like in their 30s and 40s and stuff like that. And I'm sitting here like, dang, everybody 50 years old. I'm just the only one in here, and I have nothing in common with them, and they don't talk to me. So I'm just kind of sitting there by myself, and nobody on my team is there. So I can completely understand that, especially if you have an introverted personality.
yeah, I know. I used to be the young person too. Oh, go ahead, Lee.
No, the big thing for one place I've seen before, a lot of companies got this mindset of you should be happy just to be here, right? So we paying you, you got a job, you could be. I had a manager before that said it could be worse. You could be working and not, or you could be making, less than minimum wage somewhere, and that's the justification for the lack of culture, so to say.
Mm-hmm. And also, I think
HD,
it depends on the. Oh, go ahead, HD.
No, I was going to say the other thing of it is the entitlement. They feel like you should be so happy you work for them. Like he just said, oh, you could be doing something else, so happy you working here or whatever. Like there are not other options. But like I don't mind. Like right now, I do once a week. I go co-work. Our company has a little fund for me where I could, if I wanted to, I could co-work in a co-working office like every day of the year. So I do that to get out the house sometimes, but I'm still productive because I'm by myself and nobody bothering me, which while we're on here, the people that are in DFW, one of my it's like a in the crowd. I mean, the chat can tell me if they want to see this, and I was telling Destiny about this, but with that thing, I'm able to get these big meeting conference rooms. So I thought about like whoever in the DFW, we do like a remote work from home co-office day, but it'd be content, and I think it'd be pretty cool. It'd be like remote day in the life or whatever,
That'd be lit.
doing their work.
Yep.
So I think that'll be pretty cool. So we'll see what
That'll probably be the day where everything is light and nothing going on, and then you post it like, "Oh, that's easy money."
For real, that's what you want. You want an easy day. That mean that nothing broke. All right. So Miss KB said that's a good idea, and I seen something from somebody in the chat that I want to ask the ladies.
Oh, I seen that too. Yeah.
It says particularly senior level women do better remote because they found women tend to do more mentoring, etc. in the office, which doesn't tie directly to productivity in quotes.
She ain't tell not one lie.
I agree with her too. I don't even think it's necessarily just mentoring. It's just the conversational piece. But yeah.
Yeah, everybody want to stop by and talk,
Yep.
ask about the family, ask you all these questions, and already it's like what 2 hours gone by.
Good morning for the first 2 hours you get there.
Yeah, then it's lunch after that. Then after that, it's time to go home. Oh my God, crazy.
All right, she said it was a Harvard Business Review study. That's something I'm gonna have to look that up and see exactly what that says. Destiny, did you want to talk about your SpaceX stuff?
Yes, I do. Let me pull it up. We got Elon.
Okay. While we wait on Destiny, did anybody in DFW make a snowman last week?
Kids did around my neighborhood, well, old neighborhood, but no.
Oh yeah, for y'all don't know, Lee is gonna be looking for a pen pal. He moved away. He now in DFW.
This guy right here.
He just got a new job. All right, let me add this to the stage.
All right, so SpaceX catches Starship booster a second time, loses ship to an anomaly in place. So SpaceX caught the Starship rocket's super heavy booster for a second time after it launched the upper stage into space on Thursday during a 7th test flight of the system. Soon after the successful catch, SpaceX representatives reported the ship was lost after the company lost contact about 8.5 minutes into the flight. The ship had successfully separated from the booster and had started its own rocket engines to ascend to orbit. Before it appeared, some of those engines gave out. The company then saw its link to the telemetry coming off of the ship disappear, and a few minutes later, SpaceX confirmed that the ship had suffered an anomaly with that upper stage during the end of its ascent burn into space. The FAA confirmed to TechCrunch that it slowed or diverted a number of flights in the area where debris was spotted. On Thursday evening, SpaceX CEO Elon Musk wrote on X that the company believes an oxygen/fuel leak inside Starship built up too much pressure inside the cavity of the craft. He wrote that SpaceX will obviously be double checking for leaks going forward, add a fire suppression system to that part of the ship, and increase the venting area to help reduce any pressure. So shortly after the ship failed, users across social media shared photos and videos of what appeared to be pieces of the spacecraft burning up as they re-entered Earth's atmosphere over Turks and Caicos. In between posts where he complained about corporate diversity initiatives, Musk shared one of the videos on X, writing, "Success is uncertain, but entertainment is guaranteed." Yeah, that's a long article. I'll start here. The ship SpaceX sent up on Thursday was upgraded in multiple ways compared to prior test flights. SpaceX said this Starship's avionics systems had a complete redesign featuring a more powerful flight computer, an integrated antenna with Starlink, GNSS, and backup RF communication functions. So they're working to be able to catch Starship along with the booster, blah, blah, blah. So long story short, it didn't make it again. And the debris was a lot. I think that he makes humor or cracks jokes about things that probably necessarily aren't funny, instead of just kind of taking accountability for the fact that it just didn't go as planned and they got to go back to the board. So I don't know. Those are my thoughts on it. And I think it's always interesting anything that Elon does, because we know he gonna do the most every single time.
Well, you're muted, bro.
Oops. I started laughing when you said Turks and Caicos, because I was like, not Turks and Caicos.
Exactly.
Hey, somebody in the chat said your setup like you about to do a Neo Soul hit.
I just saw that. You be having me weak in the chat anyways.
And I know we left that Chase situation, but I found out what that app is called. They use a surveillance tool called WADU, and it stands for Workforce Activity Data Utility. And so let's see. WADU is on a different level. It is an artificial intelligence and machine learning system for workforce human behavior. Starting at the moment you arrive to the building, WADU is tracking you using facial and speech recognition. Most JPMC offices and branches have been outfitted with some of the best HD AV security cameras. I ain't reading all this, man. I'm gonna post a Reddit link for y'all because I'm not gonna read all this. At least not on stream. I'll read it in my free time.
Yeah, I was going to ask the difference with that, whatever that is, but it seems like the difference is using more AI focused on people and analytical data for that.
Yeah. So I was like, man, that's crazy.
I think this is Elon's third time where it didn't go as planned. I just looked that up.
I think he'd normally like that. Now, actually, since it is 2025 and it's always fun to have these talks, this is not on the docket. We're going to use this opportunity slightly for people who may be struggling to get into tech or, oh, Damien, do you want to come on? Type 1 for yes, 2 for no. if you ain't busy, you can come on because he works at a bank too. So
Yeah, he not lying about that Chase though. Chase got a high turnover.
oh yeah, for sure. I was only there for 6 months.
Jeez.
Crazy.
I wasn't at Goldman Sachs long either. And you know Goldman Sachs
I heard they work you to the bone.
They do. They're very lean and they've been in office for 5 days a week too.
You know what, HD, did you see the significant pay jump after moving from, company to company?
Mm-hmm.
No, I'd say the number or anything. I'm just saying,
Well, no, I always tell people, so when I'm having consultations, I'm always saying, all right, look, if you can't get on internally, go to the competitor. They'll take you.
They sure will. That is so true.
And they'll give you, a lot of times they can give you a sign on or something. I did GS. I did a lot of contractor working back in the day. It's terrible. Yeah, man, like they're one of the people, like, I might share it in the chat because it's not a public video anymore. But I really had a "Hey, I quit Goldman Sachs" video, and that thing went like it's epic. Like I spoke so much truth that the people, hey Tech G, if you wanna come on, let me know. I'll shoot you the link. I really just put the link in the chat if anybody wanna come on. Just give me a few. But what did I do? Oh, I just told the truth, and people at the office got mad to where now like people that work there in the office, they can't come on the show. Like they kind of like blackball from like coming on the show.
Oh, no.
But I was like, if they mad, I mean, I said something that's true. Now, let's see this right here. But I want to talk about Gen Z and their ghost interviews.
Yeah.
I got another thing too I didn't put on there. It's a
go ahead.
screenshot from Threads.
Did you can you share it? If not, I can what you call it?
Did y'all see the new generation that's coming up? Generation Beta.
Oh yeah, I've seen that.
Beta.
It's the worst name they could have came up with.
I think my son and them in that. What? That's what 2020. What Ford or what?
I think it's the newest one. Yeah, 2024.
Gen. But see,
It's
they
gonna be Alpha, Beta, Charlie, Delta.
Is it really Charlie?
I'm saying that's gonna be the naming convention. I'm pretty sure.
I was about to say, that'd be crazy if they really call it Charlie and Delta.
I think Lee and Justice Gen Z. I know we are Gen Z.
I'm not Gen Z for the bro. Can we please put this aside?
I'm a millennial.
95 is not
94.
95 is not
We're millennials.
exactly.
It's
This
definitely
guy-
millennial.
Man, I don't know where this
1994
guy
is the
get this
cutoff
info
date.
from, man. Please, you need to
1994 is the cutoff date.
get out of HD's world and come to the real world, bro.
I appreciate that, Romy Rome, man. Romy Rome dropped the super chat. Appreciate that. Bearded Ruckus says, do you think ever since the 2020 situation, many people feel somewhat entitled to work from home now?
Yeah.
Yes and no.
Absolutely.
100%.
Me.
Yes, no, because they found out they can do their job from home. Like, it's different if your job, you physically, like, you can't be a policeman from home. You got to be in your car. You got to get on your Zoom. Like, manufacturing. Now, eventually, when they got the robots there, you know, Elon and them already building the robots. That's different. You might be remote controlling the robot. But it's like yes or no. Like, I think certain people who put enough sweat equity in their field to deserve to work from home. I especially feel like that benefit should be extended to people who have a family. Like, if you single, I'll be like, yeah, I feel you. Unless, like, you know, you got a parent or something done, like, just come in every so often. I ain't gonna trip. But when you got a family, and especially now, you can't even stay right by the office. You got to stay 30 to 45 minutes away from the office, and that ain't including getting your kids ready and dropping them off at daycare and all this other stuff. Why not let them just work from home so they can be more productive, be right there at the computer when it's time to start for work? Or they telling you, hey, I'm going to be 15 minutes late. It was a wreck. We know it in Dallas, it's always a wreck.
I think it takes the flexibility out of your lifestyle, for sure, especially when you have kids.
100%.
Because things happen, kids get sick, things come up, and the flexibility is what enables you to be the best parent you can be while still working. So if you got to be in office from 9 to 5, how does that work? How do you? What if you're a single parent? Everybody don't have support or help. So how does that work out for you? Sometimes daycares or schools or before school, after school programs, you have to consider that. If you got to commute, you just got to consider that. I just think that it makes things very inflexible for parents and families.
No, for sure. And not even think about that, but it's one of these now where they'll tie you to the job. Because what happened is, and the pro and the con about the pandemic was like people started talking too much. Like, I got so many tweets on Twitter that say bring back gatekeeping. Because you already know a lot of this was dealt to people say, oh, they got 2 and 3 jobs, huh? We finna stop that. Come back to office.
Agree. I feel like with that whole situation with the gatekeeping thing, this is a
Why did it mute?
Unmute yourself.
Oh wait, can you hear me?
Yeah, I did it. My finger slipped. Go ahead.
You muted me?
I was trying to make you solo.
Oh, okay. Well, as I was saying, when it comes to the whole soft layoff and the in-office situation, a lot is really stemmed from people getting on TikTok and YouTube talking about how they make lunch and do nothing all day and got all this free time. Because when I talk to my friends who are recruiters, they're like, honestly, a lot has really just come from them checking people's social medias and see they're not doing absolutely nothing and they're being bottlenecks. So it's like, we got to get rid of people who's not putting in no effort. And that would really drove like most of the, coming back from the office, hybrid just a little bit, and then now making it fully remote. I mean, not fully remote, but fully in office. So that's my little point.
Got it. I got your screenshot, so I'm gonna upload it in a bit. Let's see. Oh, look, hey, I know somebody who want to talk about this. I work at Lockheed Martin, and they just brought in a new manager that does not allow any work from home. That new manager snitches on my team all the time just because my manager lets us work from home.
It's time to keep those applications rolling.
Yeah. Now, if you have to go into the office every day, do you have to get in by a specific time? or can you just like do it when the traffic isn't that bad, and you can leave when the traffic isn't that bad?
I think it's based off managers and company policy.
Agreed.
Because,
Yeah.
for example, I took a full-time gig here in Dallas, and it was 100% in office every day, 5 days a week. And I was like, dang, do I really want to do that? Like, will I have time to actually be committed to this? But I wanted to be on that project so bad. I was like, you know what? I'm not tripping. I'll just do it. So I got to the point where I started building a relationship with like the directors and like, people higher up. They got to the point where they trust my work so much. I'm fully remote. I don't have to go in. So if I go in, it's really for like just a meeting or checking on my devs to see what they got going on. But once I set like that structure in place and built those relationships with higher ups, they're like, you know what, we trust you so much. Girl, we ain't got to see you. You don't have to come here. And that was fully like an in-office 5 days a week job.
Yeah, like before the pandemic, we started being able to be remote on Fridays, and then eventually they was like, we'll just let them be remote forever. And so they got rid of her whole Frisco office, which sucks because I used to like that office right there, Hall Park. It was right across from the Cowboys training thing, so it was perfect.
Mm-hmm. It was funny. I heard a story from when I used to work at Home Depot in the corporate office in Marietta, Georgia, and they were like completely work from home for 3 years, and then they finally went back into the office and they looked at the coffee machine and there was still coffee in there. They said it was like a biohazard. Nobody cleaned it out, nothing. So old coffee in there for like over 3 years. They completely got rid of the office. So
That's
they only have, I
disgusting.
think they have the Pennant Park office still, and I think they have the SSC, the headquarters.
Wow.
Imagine the stench.
But yeah, the office is no longer there.
That's insane.
Let me share that link real quick. Not the link, but the screen. Where we at? Here we go. Welcome to Career Catfishing, Gen Z's new defiance against endless rounds of interviews and hiring managers who ghost. I'm gonna tell you one thing for sure, and two things for sure about Gen Z.
How do you get this? Is it just me or with the YouTube thing just right there? It's blocking.
The comment?
Oh, it's still right there.
The comment.
Yeah, you just highlight the comment again.
Okay.
I could just hide it. Gen Z gonna step. That's one thing they're gonna do for sure.
They're gonna step.
Bro, look at this. I thought I was a subscriber. Let me see something real quick. Let me stop sharing and see if I'm a subscriber. But while we wait on that, let me upload Destiny thing and she can talk about it.
That is Fortune. I'm gonna send you something HD if you're using Google Chrome.
Okay, shoot, just send it my way.
Let me email it to you.
They wanted somebody to pay for a subscription on some basic article. It don't even be that serious.
New York Times love that. They gonna get that dollar. Okay, so I saw this on Thread.
Let me actually open it and then just zoom in so people can see it better because they can't see that. Let me do that. Perfect. Okay, let me present
Not the lunch menu. I'm screaming.
There we go. Okay, perfect. So I saw this on Threads, I don't know, a couple days ago. And I wanted to talk about it. So it says CYA at all costs. I once got a VP fired because of discrimination because I CYA. I keep detailed notes, dates, times, witnesses, never act. I think they meant based off emotions. I put my notes in a 17-page PowerPoint presentation for leadership. His response: "You're going to believe her over me? No receipts, fired."
That was it.
And then someone, this was what I really wanted to highlight, was someone commented and said that she said that I made a free app called Work Receipts for this very thing. You can log stuff and attach screenshots, photos, recordings, etc., and it will tell you in real time if your rights have been violated. I think that was super dope. idea to create, but you need to be extremely careful with what you put up there from your company. That's absolutely against your company policy for you to use a external source. So if you're going to keep a paper trail, I would definitely recommend keeping it on your work device, or if you have like a personal device with work stuff on there, create a folder or something. But you could face some consequences, like like termination, for using a tool like that, especially recordings. Like, so just be careful, folks. That was what I wanted to talk about there.
Yep, I'm not finna subscribe to them. Let me start doing this. Actually, read this other thing that I'm gonna share. Then I always send this type of stuff to Mr. Lee Clayton, the host of the Clay Talk Show.
This guy, man, I'm trying to tell y'all.
What I do? You are the host of the Clay Talk Show.
You was a character.
Thank you.
Oh, this guy. Okay.
Yeah, man. So I know my channel like this one. This dude says, I think the biggest like fallacy in it at the beginning is he said IT support greater than cybersecurity. But I was like, how are you comparing a job role, one job role versus like a whole subset industry and saying one is greater than the other? That's why I just feel like everything could be flawed from what you say just at the beginning, just off facts alone. But he says, before the cybersecurity bros come screaming at me in the comments, just hear me out, be open-minded, and remember, this is just my opinion on what the IT market will look like moving forward. Now, context on this individual, most of his experience is in IT support. So that's just context. Let's talk about why IT support is greater than cybersecurity and why it's time to rethink how we approach IT careers. IT support builds foundational expertise. Before you can secure a system, you need to know how it works. IT support gives you hands-on experience in troubleshooting systems and networks, managing user and access permissions, spotting inefficiencies and vulnerabilities in real time. Every day in IT support sharpens your technical intuition, a skill set cybersecurity professionals could use more of, which this part could be true. But the thing is this is a wide generalization. All help desk people that I've consulted with are not doing identity and access management. Some of them not even troubleshooting. Some of them just got KBs and they just send it over. So that's where I think where this can be a little wonky. IT support professionals see the bigger picture, no little baby. While cybersecurity is specialized, IT support gives you a holistic view of business operations. You're the first to hear about user pain points. You identify inefficiencies that impact productivity. You play a key role in aligning tech with business goals. I'd highly disagree with this one. I really disagree with this. Anybody else feel the same way?
Aligning tech.
I did.
I mean, if the business goal is to keep the end users up and running, but that's not usually the business end goal.
And then I disagree with this too. This makes IT support professionals uniquely positioned to drive strategic decisions beyond just securing the network. It's like, it sounds like you trying to make a point, but then it's a little shade, as in like when the Chris Brown's like, how you gonna hate from outside the club? You can't even get in. Like, it always seemed like that. Like, from the tone I get from his stuff. And I've offered him the extension of coming on here one day. So hopefully he replies and he can either come on or whatever. You know, I don't like to do people like this. They can't defend themselves. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm trying to understand what you mean by that. So, like, he's saying, what do you mean? Like, kind of being? Are you saying he's being shady? Like,
yeah,
in
a subtle way. When you say beyond, like, all you do is secure the network. So beyond just securing the network, as in all cybersecurity people do this, but IT support people, we drive strategic decisions.
Oh, so like comparing IT support to cybersecurity people. Okay.
Yeah, because the premise of this whole long post is IT support greater than cybersecurity.
I think they all have their own importance. I mean,
agree.
because cybersecurity is like a paradigm. There's so many different things in cybersecurity and so many different things in IT support. Everybody making millions of dollars for these companies. Everybody is important.
It's just
So
fueling the narrative that it's always IT versus security instead of us working together to make sure that we're both able to help the company stay secure and achieve their goals.
I feel as though this is like an advertisement for, you always see the cybersecurity advertisements. This is one of those IT support advertisements to draw people into, looking into those roles. But HD already covered it. A lot of businesses go off the job title that you have, and that determines of what your pay band and salary will be. And if people say, hey, their goal is to be, not just living in life, but actually comfortable, it's not a whole lot of people that's comfortable with the support title making comfortable money, right? So that's why a lot of people look at the other route, the other side or whatever. So
Yeah, I will say there are a lot of differences between the two, such as like how you actually go about getting the job can be completely different. Like I know cybersecurity is like really heavily focused on certifications, but then somebody else getting kidnapped. It's not funny. That's not funny at all. I'm just saying.
it's not funny.
That's not funny at all. Hopefully they get saved.
It's not funny. This guy.
But so cybersecurity is heavily focused on certifications, but then like if you are like a coder or a developer, you may not benefit from getting a whole bunch of certifications. You may benefit from learning just the skills and getting more experience, or going through a boot camp, getting a degree. Those could be some ways of getting in. So both of them have their pros and cons. Both of them will still make you good money, and both of them are still important to a business.
I just don't like the wedge that it's driving because I talk to customers a lot, and even in their own environments, it's IT versus security instead of everybody working together, and it's things like this that further drive that wedge.
So I got this comment highlighted because he said, I've done IT support. You're not driving business decisions. 9 times out of 10, you're resetting passwords. And that's big facts. Easy Does It says, I was catching his post and started doubting my ability to get a cyber job as entry level, but I unfollowed and have an entry level cyber job. And that's what I'm saying. It just seemed like he just trying to dissuade you from doing what you want to do because it's not working for him. That's what it seems like. And let me highlight the super chat real quick. I just saw it. There we go. Shout out to Romy Rome again, man. Recent 12-year Navy veteran with a TS. What's the SCI stand for? Lee, is that the poli sci?
No, that's the secret compartmental information.
See, that's why we got you on payroll. Almost done with cyber degree. Any leads, even entry level in Texas area, would be great. Trying to build network. Romy Rome. Follow Mr. Lee Clayton on LinkedIn. And Lee, if you could drop your LinkedIn for him, please. Because he is former Air Force, so he knows how to navigate that much better than I do. And I feel like he can give you the sauce. I mean, I can give it to you too, pause, but he knows how to really help you out.
Yeah, right here, bro. I'm trying to tell you.
Hey, hold on. I'm gonna come back to your comment, Gabe, because that's a mic drop. But let's go right back here real quick. Cybersecurity can sometimes feel like a narrow focus, which this, like I said, all the stuff can feel like, what does he mean? This one field can feel like a narrow focus when it encompasses everything. So how could it be narrow? IT support, on the other hand, is a gateway to multiple high-value roles, including cloud architecture, DevOps engineering, system administration, AI, and automation implementation. When you master IT support, you're opening doors to diverse high-paying opportunities. In 2025 and beyond, businesses need IT professionals who can do more than just prevent breaches. See what I'm saying? They need problem solvers, strategists, and innovators. IT support is no longer a stepping stone. It's the ultimate foundation for leadership in tech. I'm telling you, the whole post is hate.
Yeah, I can agree with you on that one. Just hearing that, because so I'm a data engineer, but also I work on a DevOps team, and all we talk about is security, like how we work with the security teams. Like we can't even really do our work unless we have the specific security steps in place and the frameworks in place for us to be able to make sure that we're doing it in a secure way. I mean, like exactly. Our senior leadership, all we talk about is like security and making sure that we're mitigating risks. So, everybody I think is a problem solver. I mean, you don't get into this industry without being able to solve problems and having that curiosity behind you.
Exactly. Gabe said something so important that I want to highlight. He said, cybersecurity versus IT support salaries tell you how the business sees the two areas.
Hey, both of them get into the bag.
No, they're not.
That eight. That eight.
Hey, we doing better than working in the warehouse, man. I'm gonna tell you that.
This dude is funny. He gotta get a stand on special. He said y'all about to make Kev Tech pull up. But no, I mean Kev in security now though. He with us.
Yeah. Congratulations to him for the new job.
Yeah, exactly. But he'll even tell you, like, yes, see, there are outliers in IT support. Like if you work for like a hedge fund or sometimes like a really big tech company or something, you can make a lot of money. But those are outliers. Most of the time, it's seen as a job with a lot of what you call it? What's the word when people come to a job and they leave? Turnover. A lot of turnover. That's what it seems as. The man said, "Buddy, sound like Jim Jones in that post." That part, I like this. I like Easy Does It. I get why people say cyber can be entry level. It absolutely requires fundamental knowledge and skills, but for some people, companies are willing to invest in their training. She was like, entry level IT support roles literally cannot pay for daycare.
Yeah, exactly.
I do IT support right now. I do a bit of Azure, in-house application support. I do a bit of monitoring with Trellix. Data science isn't IT support before the billions. IT support is like help desk.
Yeah.
Yep.
Help desk is how a lot of people start out, though. You got to start somewhere.
Yep.
Actually, you know what? There are so many entry-level jobs that people don't know about. I didn't know that they had jobs for like HTML email developers, like just to create the email, make sure it works for all the different email clients. That's the job, and then that helps you get into web development. There's so many different like avenues to get in.
Lee, I got one for you, and then I'm gonna give Justice some shine because I want her to go back into the gatekeeping with working multiple jobs, and for her to just go ahead and show y'all how y'all really can work multiple jobs the right way. But
I'm screaming.
this question right here is for Lee. Easiest way to get into tech is the DoD companies. Their interviews are the easiest. You can start there and transfer later into big tech.
I mean, half of that is true. The interviews, well, not exactly. It depends on what you're interviewing for, but a lot of those interviews are easy, but the hard part is getting seen. I know before I got out the military, I was applying through all the DoD companies or contractors or whatever. And I think I had maybe like 65 applications. I only had one interview. So it's not a breeze to get selected. You still got to network and find people. So someone on LinkedIn was referring people to DoD contractors, and I hit him up, and he sent in some referrals for me. We chatted out. He got a idea of what I know how to do. He said, "Okay, I know you can do these types of roles." Sent me like 15 of them. I applied to all of them. Had that one interview. Got that one role out of those 60 plus I applied to. So just got to be consistent and don't think after 3 times and you should be in the dough. Don't work like that for everybody.
Bet, man. Let me welcome my guy real quick, man. Mr. Chris and I'm not finna butcher your last name, bro, but he is the host of Tech Woke podcast out there in the DMV. He decided to come up with us tonight.
I just wanted to come through. I see y'all was going at it tonight. I was like, that's some good stuff y'all doing. For real.
Man, appreciate it, bro.
Appreciate it.
Yo,
Some good content. That ain't nobody did it before like this.
yo, what's going on?
That's
What's up,
good, man.
everybody?
Hey.
How y'all
Trying.
doing?
Doing good, man. I was just watching your video, man, earlier
Oh,
talking about the GovTechCon.
Yeah, that joint was fire. GovTech time was fire.
So you saying I got to go this year is what you're telling me?
You gotta go. Y'all gotta come.
Yeah,
Hey, man, if I go all the way to the East Coast, it better be hitting on something.
It's hidden. It was hidden. You come to
I'm not
Urban,
trying to go out there and listen to no vendors sell crap out.
they ain't selling. It's a good time. Trust me.
All right. He
You know,
said
my
it.
boy Lee Memphis Piffin, he got the low on.
The what?
The low.
This guy,
That's
man,
Dallas.
can't
That's
do it.
Dallas slang.
Nah, this is polo. Short for polo.
That's why I just try not to hold it in because it just be.
Like, what do you be talking? This guy, I'm trying to tell y'all, man. It's a character, bro.
You got the low.
Cause you an ISO, right?
Yeah, I'm an information system security officer, basically like an RMS specialist, which is basically GRC. You know,
Oh,
so it's just a different word. And I work for the DoD in the GovTech space. I saw that comment that came up earlier about GovTech, so it's a good space.
It ain't easy. But
Hey, I heard those trying to make sure y'all can't work from home either.
Yeah, so yeah, right now, they're slowly trying to get us back in office. Like I work directly in the office now. Like for me, like they're trying to convert us back in office. We don't want to get hybrid no more. So yeah, that's what's going on right now in the DC area.
Yeah.
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 Yep.
A lot of
Drop
people trying to.
info in the chat too.
So,
Your info for the your podcast and everything.
okay, put it in the chat.
Yeah,
Okay, guys,
that way they can go check you out.
appreciate it.
Yeah, they're trying to stimulate the economy where you work. So I guess that's why they're trying to get everybody like 5 days in the office and also try to get people out.
Yeah.
See, I go for it if you're gonna up my bonus.
Yeah, they actually are trying to. For some companies, they're trying to cut people's pay if they don't go into the office.
Mm-hmm.
Or
If they
just
want to
cut
work
down.
fully remote.
And,
Yeah.
and if it's that inflexible for people's schedule, they're gonna do it too.
And that network gonna be spiked. They're gonna be like, what's that company dude got fired? He did some with like he worked for the cloud team and he did some with like the data when he got fired. They better keep playing with people's money.
Insider risk.
Shoot, they just saw Luigi. They better stop playing.
Oh man.
You stop paying. Yeah, you gotta stop paying people money.
For real. You know, the healthcare needs to start playing with these benefits I'm paying all this money for.
We need to get one of those C-suite executives on the on your pod and ask them why you think, you know, common C-suite people like to play with folks' money. Let's see what they say.
Yeah.
Yeah, as long as they want to sponsor the episode, by all means. By all means. But I'm about to let Justice talk about techpreneurship real quick. You got your elevator pitch ready?
No, I was not expecting it, but I'm always on standby. So,
Okay.
all
Here
right.
you go.
Hello, everyone. Nice to see you guys. Nice to meet y'all. Sorry if my face look a little down. I've been up since 5 a.m. dealing with my offshore team in Spain. So grandma going to be asleep after this. Okay. So a little bit about Techpreneurship Academy. If you guys are familiar with it, if not, I can still give a whole pitch. So with Techpreneurship Academy, I teach people how to get into tech contracting. You can either do GovTech, FinTech, EdTech, MedTech, iGaming, whatever industry you like, but I also help you identify your niche if you don't understand your niche. Now, if you do understand your niche, then that's great. If you're already in the tech world, got experience, 4 years, 5 years. Today, I work with a client that had 10 years. It doesn't matter. If you're willing or trying to make more money, so that way you don't have to job stack or do everything on your own and expand your company or your brand, you also kind of have the money work for you and like keep your business on auto. I teach that as well for C2C and also white labeling courses. Now, if you're familiar with C2C, C2C is corp to corp, kind of in the tech industry world. You are your own business. You either an LLC or S corp. and you're like, you know what? I'm tired of job stacking. I want to get into something where I can be sick or take off maternity leave or sabbatical and my money still come in. Then you can take the C2C route. I prefer for people to do that instead of job stacking, because anything more than 2 W-2s is going to be an issue depending on where you live or your state. So I always recommend do the C2C, because that way your clients can take you serious and you get more money that way. But let's not forget, you're going to have to pay some in taxes. And also, if you want to have a team, you have to pay subcontractors. So I teach people pretty much how to set up their business, keep it structured, keep the money coming in. And I have a list of everybody who I use on my team if you ever want to use them. Now, if some of you may not know me, because I know I kind of jump into the whole spiel, so I'm going to give a little bit about my background. I work in UI UX. I've been in the industry for 10 years. I've been doing C2C for 4 years, and then I kind of got into leadership as well, so around 4 years as well. And I have 2 C2C businesses. One is on my LinkedIn, and the other one I keep super private. And with that, I do have subcontractors that I work with, and I also pay them out as well. And I specialize strictly only in UI UX design, because that's my expertise. I can't be everywhere at once, so I had to split and actually get a team. So a lot of clients I work for, I could name drop since I don't really work with them no more. So I worked at PayPal, I worked at Bank of America, I worked at State Farm, FIS, USDA, CDC, and also ServiceNow a little bit too. So just to give a little bit there, but if you guys have any questions, concerns, thoughts, I will have HD to give you guys my Instagram, and we can just go from there. Hopefully that didn't take too long.
No, that was perfect.
No, that was
perfect.
okay.
I was gonna get your our episode so I could post it into the chat. So I almost got it over here.
And the episode 8, check it out.
I'm glad you know, friend, because I don't know what episode it is.
Is it? It's episode what?
No, I said it 8.
Oh,
it's 8.
so
Okay,
8.
thank you.
Yes,
Thank you,
yes.
Thank you.
yeah, 8 down.
Yeah.
Period. Thank you.
Here we go. I got it. I found it over here. Yeah, we got some big things planned for the real techpreneurs this year.
Yeah, we're trying to get y'all to do stuff the legal way, and we're also trying to get people to understand, like, this is what all the older people in our corporation have been doing for a long time, but nobody talks about it.
Well, let's keep it like that. Well, as soon as a lot of more people start talking about it, guess what's going to happen?
Not really, because with corp to corp, it's a lot of money to go around. So it's not like, oh, let's just keep it a secret. It's not really a secret. But I mean, the older generation's been doing it, and they put me on. So I'm like, I want to share with my community and put them on, because not too many people actually know about it. But once you get to know about it, it's not like it's going to stop anything, no flow or anything. So
Yeah.
all you do is put it in an LLC instead of a W-2. That's literally all you're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Knowledge is only useful when it's applied.
Exactly.
That's facts.
Yep.
Yeah, and I want to mention Kenneth was on the last episode, but Kenneth has started his own staffing agency as well too. So along with Edmonton Cyber Academy, they actually getting people jobs out here. We're hiring for folks. So definitely be in touch with him. Let's see what we got. I think this was back to.
All right, don't kill me though. I got a job though.
Okay.
All right.
Cool. Be safe over there in the main street
Let me know when the next
Nice to meet
meeting
you.
is.
North Texas. Yeah, I'm gonna hit you on that the idea I got. You,
Okay.
Damien, Destiny. I think it's gonna make for a good episode.
Yeah, just let me know. All right, bye, you guys.
Have a good one.
Destiny, did you want to touch on the Biden stuff? I know you got that outline that he just did for cybersecurity that people been talking about.
Yes. Let me pull it up. Okay, this article isn't too long. Share. All right. So Biden's new executive order aims to shore up U.S. cyber defenses. So President Joe Biden issued an executive order Thursday aimed at strengthening the nation's cybersecurity and making it easier to go after foreign adversaries or hacking groups that try to compromise U.S. internet and telecommunication systems. The order calls for the development of minimum cybersecurity standards for government technology contractors and requires that contractors submit evidence that they're complying. It also aimed at making it easier for U.S. authorities to penalize foreign governments that target the U.S. with cyber attacks in the wake of recent hacking incidents linked to China, Iran, Russia, and North Korea. Amongst other changes, the order allows sanctions to be imposed on foreign hackers who target hospitals or other organizations with ransomware. The order requires federal agencies to improve cybersecurity to protect against threat posed by powerful quantum computers, which experts say could be used to easily break into many systems. This could have direct national security implications if a foreign adversary builds a computer sophisticated enough to break American codes. The order comes just days before Biden, a Democrat, leaves office. Republican President elect Donald Trump administration could rescind the policy in favor of its own proposals, but Deputy National Security Advisor Ann Neuberger said that the order's twin goals, strengthening cybersecurity and punishing those responsible for cyber attacks, should win bipartisan support. The order is intended to show that America means business when it comes to protecting our businesses and our citizens, Neuberger said while briefing reporters on the new policy. While the order sets out critical cybersecurity standards that should better protect businesses, governments, and consumers, some of the reporting requirements could create compliance challenges for tech companies. Blah, blah, blah. Let me think. Earlier this month, the White House announced a labeling program designed to help consumers pick smart devices that are more resistant to hacking. Under the Cyber Trust Mark program, manufacturers of internet-connected devices can attach the label to let buyers know the product meets federal cybersecurity standards. Trump has not announced his pick for top national cybersecurity positions. John Ratcliffe's Trump nominee to be CIA director said Wednesday during his Senate hearing that it was essential the U.S. improve its defenses and offenses cyber capabilities to keep up with China and other adversaries. We have the best code makers and code breakers in the world, Ratcliffe said of American spy agencies, but if China gets to quantum computing before we do, that's a real problem. About time, it's only 2025. EU, they've been doing it, so I think it's about time. Hopefully, we start to see some improvements in the US, at least from the federal side, because right now I think it's just targeted to government contractors, but hopefully this is something that just becomes for everyone, whether you're in the private sector. What do you guys think?
I don't know, I'll let Lee handle it.
Oh, that what happened to everybody?
No, I don't know how to adjust the layout for it, just make it her. So I just drop everybody and bring them back up so she can be up there, Dolo.
Yeah, well, we'll see what happens with that. I think it'll be many years before it's fully
Fleshed out.
enforced. It's going to be a phased approach that's going to take so many years because of the business objective matters more than its security objective. So
I think we kind of sleep on ourselves sometimes because with COVID, for example, you've seen how quickly people figured it out to keep business flowing and running. That's how we need to approach keeping our nation safe and protected from a security perspective. I think we're sleeping on ourselves and thinking we have more time than we actually have.
Well, yeah, they think that because there's the COVID thing forced people to adjust quickly because the money, that's what it's all about, the money with big orgs and big corporations. So if this cyber mandate doesn't come with literally threatening 70% profits being reduced or something like that, it's not really going to be taken seriously. It'll be talked about in meetings and phased approach. 6 months we'll try to do one step closer, then the next 6 months it's going to go to the next step closer, and that'll go on for the next 15 years. And there you go. That's the whole process for that.
Yeah, I work in the government contract. I work in the government space, they don't take cybersecurity as seriously. As a person that works in risk management framework, I deal with just trying to tell them the most simplest things when it comes to cybersecurity. Like even if I tell them, okay, this vulnerability will send data to Microsoft, they don't understand the seriousness of that. They don't take it as and the funding with cybersecurity, everything is very slow. So hopefully they take it seriously, but I don't expect it to come anytime soon because the government is very slow. And then they said they also want to get into quantum computing. The private sector is a little bit better on that. There's no way in hell the government is going to start getting the quantum computing. If they already have it, it's going to take them a little bit more time from my perspective of working in the government. That's all I have to say.
Cool. We got a super chat in here, man. J Moore L says, do you recommend going to college or getting your certifications to start in cybersecurity? I do not have the link yet, but I recommend you going to SNHU. That's South New Hampshire University. They're real cheap, flexible online, and they got a good curriculum. I'll be doing an ad for them pretty soon. But in all seriousness, do what you can afford that you feel gives you the best outcome. That's what I typically tell people.
Yeah, we were just talking about the same subject earlier in the stream.
Yeah,
Talking about like, yeah. Go ahead, AJ.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm saying like how cybersecurity, there's so many like industry standard certifications that you can get that would help you to be able to at least get started in the industry. Like I remember I was talking to a cybersecurity manager. He said that he will not hire anybody. He won't even interview in person if they do not have minimum a Security Plus, a CompTIA Security Plus certification, because they need to be able to speak the language of somebody who's in cybersecurity for even an analyst role. They were like, as an example, you need to be able to know the differences between like what a risk is, what a vulnerability is, and what a threat is. All related, but all different. But that's why I would say try and focus on just gaining the skills that they're looking for on the job description. I would always suggest like, hey, if you're in cybersecurity, look at these certifications because no matter what company you go to, they're going to be finding it useful. But if you're trying to be a developer, there's so many different kind of certifications. You may or may not want to go for one over the other. So yes, I think certifications would be a great thing for people to get trying to get into cybersecurity. But just make sure that you actually apply the knowledge that you use, that you learn.
Yeah.
No,
A
I
lot of
agree.
people are just taking the certifications. They're just trying to pass, but coming out feeling like, okay, what did I just do? Like you need to be understanding what you're doing, because if that's what you're trying to utilize to say, hey, I got the skill set, I understand the objectives of this certification, but you get into a conversation and you can't talk about it, or you can't, discuss some scenario based situations, it doesn't help you for sure. So don't just get the certification to say, check it off your list, I got it. Like actually understand what you're doing and get creative with it.
Yeah. Oh, another good thing for people who live in Atlanta or don't mind flying into Atlanta, we're having an official cybersecurity summit here coming up, where there's going to be a lot of people in the industry, and it's actually free. There's a free code for it. It's coming up I think it's in
I think you
March.
should go, Chris.
You say something?
I said I think you should go down to Atlanta.
Yeah, I might maybe do a little visit. I might take a little visit down there.
Yeah.
I'm on my tour soon, so we'll see.
Yeah, okay. It's actually January. It's January, I think 31st.
What's the name of it?
It's called the Official Cybersecurity Summit Atlanta 2025. I'll put it in the chat.
I might check it out.
Is that the same cybersecurity summit? Let me see, because I think it was something like that came to Dallas, and I went to that.
They have multiple locations.
Okay, yeah. I don't know how I feel about that, because when I went to the one in Dallas, I took off work and everything.
Oh,
it was just a lot of vendors selling their products.
Yeah, that's the issue I do have going to conferences. Is vendors. They just say, hey, get Security Plus, education. That's all they be. Sands. They just trying to sell.
So I actually got impromptu idea that'd be pretty fun because
see, is this the same one? I put it in the private chat.
Because Destiny's just said something I told Lee about this week. I had a consultation with a guy who had a lot of certs. He even had the CYSA plus, that's the blue team CompTIA cert. And he couldn't answer some basic questions that I had for my SOC analyst question. So when people say, go get a degree or certs, most of the time, believe it or not, the degree actually gives you a better foundation of some things you have to learn than the certs, because it tends to give you things that's going to have to make you write and look up and do work on to retain some sort of information. The cert, you can say, okay, I'm going to get the book, I'm going to study and memorize everything today. I'm going to take the test in 3 days, 15 days, and I'm going to pass and I'm going to be done with it. I think it's like not a lot of accountability on ABCD question type of test. But if you do a practical test, that's why I recommend people do Blue Team Level 1, is simply because it's practical. You can't hide your way and just mark stuff out of it. You got to pass it. But I got an idea for my people who are in the chat. If you are an aspiring SOC analyst and you want to be a SOC analyst and you want to come on and answer a question and you give a favorable answer, I will work some out with you where I give you a free call. So I'm going to pull up these questions, and whoever wants to come up, let me put the link back to join the call or the stream. And you can try for it. Let me zoom in. I know some people can't see that. So I'm gonna give it like what, 2-3 minutes.
Yeah.
While we wait. But while we wait, who y'all got? Y'all got who are the Commanders playing this weekend?
And we playing the Detroit Lions. I'm so happy. We about to bust them. Hopefully we get
I don't think so.
You say you gonna beat the
I
Detroit
don't think
Lions?
so,
I don't think that's gonna
Christopher.
happen,
bust them.
bro.
I
I
can't
don't
wait.
think
You gonna bust the Lions?
Yeah, we gonna win. Hey, we gonna do something.
Lions all day, just because I'm from Michigan.
Oh, okay.
I ain't gonna hold you, dog. Lions taking the win.
I ain't gonna
We'll
hold
see.
you.
We'll see.
Buccaneers not that good. That's the same team Denver went for almost like 40 on.
Hey, we
They
won
not
though.
that good. They had one of the trashiest divisions in football. So I really feel like Commanders are a good team, no doubt, but I think it's also a little bit of fool's gold. I don't really believe. I believe they're good, but beating the Buccaneers didn't show me anything because they're not a good team to me.
The one thing I will say, we don't have a running game. We got to get better on our running, and our O line's little trash. As long as we got Scary Terry, Jane Downs, we good. So we'll see.
Shoot, my boy from LA Tech gonna shut down Scary Terry. So
Say, what you talking about?
what's his name? Amik Robinson. I think that's his name. He did his thing versus Justin Jefferson a couple of weeks ago. So I got a close game, but I got Eagles pulling it out against the
I think they're gonna win. I think the Eagles gonna give them some. They're gonna win.
Mr. Predictions. Mr. Predictions. You ain't on Prize Picks?
No, I'm not on Prize Picks. Okay, Smackstar, how do you answer? The way you answer is, because it's not going to make sense for you to really type your answer. You don't have to be on camera, but you need to click the link to join the call so you can answer. Consider this almost in a sense like a panel interview, except we're going to be much nicer. And we'll actually give you an answer.
They aren't already ChatGPT to answer that, bro.
No, facts.
It's too late. It's too late. It's too late for
I don't know
that.
if it's ChatGPT if it's too perfect.
Too perfect. Ain't nothing perfect.
You gotta hit some ums. You gotta hit them soft. You gotta hit some ums.
If it's worded in a way that doesn't make sense to me, I knew you use AI to answer it. And if they do that, I got other questions I can switch to. So what'll happen? It'll behoove you not to use ChatGPT because I'm just going to switch to a question that you're not going to be able to ChatGPT once you're up here.
Now you done got them scared. See.
So HD, I don't know if you saw it was a question in the chat a little while ago. Somebody said that they are it's hard for them to find networking opportunities, or they really need to start networking. They don't have any friends or family who are
I saw
in
that.
IT.
I thought.
Okay. Yeah, I was like going back to the going to conferences thing. Is that a lot of the conferences that you go to is going to be like how Lee said, like a whole bunch of vendors and salespeople, and especially if you are somebody who are trying to get into the industry, you kind of just need to be in the environment. At least know what's going on, know what tools are actually being used by big companies. Because like IBM will be there. Like they have like big name companies like Google, Microsoft. Like you have these big name companies that are going to be there, even if you don't exactly know any friends or any family who are in it. They can kind of guide you in a way to be able to get into the industry.
Yeah.
Now, you do want to be weary of like the salespeople because they will just get your email and try and set up meetings with you and stuff like that. But if you can get industry professionals who actually work in the industry, like if you're interested in cybersecurity or if you're interested in data analytics or data engineering, we also go to those types of conferences. So, and then also you can go to like industry specific conferences, like you can go to ones about like your specific thing. Like if you want to go into web development, they have Render ATL here in Atlanta, and they also have DevNexus here in Atlanta. A lot of other conferences as well if you try to get into data analytics. So, try and figure out what flavor really works with you and your goals. And I would always suggest try and get a free ticket if you can. Don't spend. I would never suggest anybody spend money on conference tickets if you can help it, especially if you're trying to get in. Always look for like some scholarships or free tickets that they offer through the conference or some other workforce development organization.
I would say
For
if you
sure.
can't do that, if finances are an issue and you're not able to get a free ticket, look into social groups. Facebook got LinkedIn has groups, HD got the Discord. Join these groups and start being social with some like-minded people, and then from there you can start to grow and blossom those relationships, and now you got a couple friends and they introduce you to a couple more people and you start to expand your network there. You got to start somewhere.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna reiterate it again. Y'all want to join the Discord or the mailing list because they are going to get information faster than what I put on YouTube when it comes to some stuff that I have going on behind the scenes. So you're definitely gonna want to be in the Discord because you don't want to miss some stuff that I'm gonna drop this year.
Facts.
And it's gonna be beneficial. It's gonna be separate from some of my other offerings.
And HD, another cool thing about it is that having the Discord gives people community. So if they do go to these conferences, hey, are you going to be in Dallas, this week? They got a conference coming up. Or they say you got Afrotech coming up. Who's going to Afrotech? So that way I have somebody I can talk to, when you get there. So you can kind of avoid, or you can kind of get to know the people. Yeah, you can hook up, link up with folks, and not in that way, right?
Nah,
Not in that way. I
Too
think
much for the Afrotech. You know what
Right.
happens?
doing neck work.
you're right.
This guy.
Actual networking. But I think the true value is when you take pictures as well and post it on your social media saying, hey, I went to this conference, this is what I learned. Especially that helped me get a job. So I would suggest others talk about the things that you learned and the skills that you learned from going to these conferences.
Hey, he got to make me laugh, but it's funny. They actually did do a
No, they actually did do it. I saw them with the signs.
Oh, that's great. They really did that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. This
Oh,
getting
they
crazy.
did
already.
what?
Pop the balloon.
Is that the like? I think I've been seeing videos on there on Facebook when they have somebody walk up to the stage and talk to somebody with a mic, and people start popping balloons about what they don't like about somebody or something.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Let's do.
Yeah.
Nobody's joining your challenge.
No, one dude, Swagstar, said he needs to download the app, so I'm trying to give him a little bit of grace.
I think it'd be fun if we did a pop the balloon, but more so like red flags edition. That'd be fun. Something cybersecurity thing.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
Or pop the balloon for careers. something like that.
Jobs you would never want to do, or jobs
Oh, like
that
you put up a red flag or something. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, like I thought about something funny. Like you find a person or a solution you think works, and then you pop the balloon, find out no MFA.
My MFA been
He said he's
killing
on
me.
the backstage. Swag star.
MFA been killing me.
Is
I
he?
hate it now.
That's what he said in the chat.
I'm on the backstage. Oh yes, he is. All right, I'm glad you said something. Okay, perfect. Let me bring you up.
Wham.
Swagstar, can you hear us?
Oh.
Yeah, I can hear y'all.
Okay, cool, man. Cool, man. Thank you for coming up here. This is so. It's two things. I promise I'm not gonna be like Simon Cowell up here on you. Trust me. And two, it's also another way to show people like if they ever want to do a call, how it would even go. And other people on the panel are actually free to put their input in on if they want to help as well. So this is a simple question. So it's how you would triage or analyze an unusual authentication alert in an environment. And I got analyze in parentheses because typically if you work in the SOC, it's in response. The word you're going to hear most of the time is triage. You hear that same word when you go to the hospital, some triage nurse or whatever. It's just pretty much investigation. So, and to help you out some, the word unusual here is used specifically to throw you off, but don't look too much into unusual, or you need to figure out how you can prove something is actually unusual.
Okay. So if I had an alert pop up that said, let's just say for instance, it said it was from a unusual location, not necessarily an unusual location, but uh maybe geographically it'd be a different location from where it's supposed to be. That would throw a red flag to me. If it was at a time that was outside of office hours, that would throw a red flag to me. So then I would escalate that up if it was me in that position, which I've never worked in that position. I'm trying to get there. So bear with me.
Okay, so you was on the right track, but and for in this instance, for an interview like this, they wouldn't be wanting you to say escalate it just yet because you have to prove why you're escalating it. So I want
Okay,
you to
so
go back to two of the
you
things you first said when you said like geographic or you said outside of like office hours or whatever. How could you verify that the time that they logged in is different than what they typically do?
I can check out the IP, I can check the activity log for that particular user that is for instance for that workstation. If it's saying that it's using this workstation and it's not the correct IP address, I can verify it with that. Um, Login credentials say that it's somebody in Dallas when normally they work in Florida. That would be a red flag for all of a sudden for them to be in Dallas if they're not on a business trip or nothing like that. Especially like maybe if it was 6:30, let's say 6:30 a.m. they clocked out, and then all of a sudden it's 7 they're in Dallas when normally they're in Florida. That would throw up a red flag.
So you're saying if you saw two authentication alerts at the same time?
Well, you know, less than a reasonable amount of time. Let's say 30 minutes. You can't commute from Florida in this location when you just logged off, and that's where you normally log off. And then all of a sudden you in Dallas 30 minutes later.
Okay. That will raise suspicion. Typically, most of the time, it may be a region that may be a little further away from like a state or something. Okay, so let me try to prime you to answer this. How could you verify that person is the person that logged in?
Does this particular company have MFA
There you go.
actively already?
Yeah. And so, what would you want to check if they what?
If they can prove who they were, if
Hmm.
they phone was if they got their alert to their phone and They click yes, it's me, or put in number. Like with Microsoft, you put in the number, or however the different MFAs work.
Yeah, I mean you on the path. So then also, like you said, you could even go into, okay, let me see if this the phone that they got on file for him that he typically logs on from.
Yeah, that would be that. Yeah, go back to the IP. If the IP don't match up with their works, well, whatever laptop we issued them, if that's not the normal one or the one to use at home, then yeah, that would throw up a red flag, and they're not using MFA.
Well, don't fixate too much on the host, because a lot of times these authentication alerts may not even be on a endpoint, because attacker would have to, which is rare, but had to do something to the person and got them at gunpoint where they logging on their machine.
That's true too. That's true. I didn't even think about it like that, but yeah.
Think of another way that you could verify, like, because I know you threw out Dallas and Florida. What's another way that sometimes, and you probably don't know this, but it could say that you're in Florida, but that's not really an issue. Like, okay, I'll give you a hint. What are things that we use at a company to keep the employees safe while they're on the company network?
I was just gonna say the VPN can throw that off too.
There you go. So could you possibly check if they actually was logged onto the VPN that day?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, you can check. Like I know a lot of companies use Avaya or a Coming, so you can check and see if they logged in with that.
Yeah. So those are like some easy ways you can check. Like I said, if you're looking at the IPs, like, yeah, it could say Florida, but if it still says like you're saying Akamai, but it could say like Zscaler, and then you see like Octopush or whatever it went through. 9 times out of 10, they probably traveling, or it could just be whatever region they're close enough to that proxy service will just connect to that server and then say you're there. So like a lot of times when I log on the VPN, it's showing a city that I'm nowhere nearby, but I'm on the VPN. So cool. We kind of went through ways that you can kind of verify that it's not unusual. Now, let's say you checked all that stuff and you found out it actually is unusual. Outside of saying you're going to escalate it, what would you do if you found out there was an intruder in the network?
Segment. So I would try to cut them off from the rest of the network. Actually lock down, try to remote into it and lock down the workstation if possible. And basically it goes back to segmentation. You have to be able to lock off this door behind them and keep them from going any further into the network, so they're only exposed to what they have directly around them.
So you're on the right track. But if you only fixate on the endpoint, couldn't they do other stuff in the environment?
Yeah, I mean, I guess you could revoke their accesses, their least
Okay.
privileges.
So you can revoke their access, you can lock their account. What about you did all that, but yet they still were logged in some other places? How would you effectively mitigate that?
Delete the account, suspend.
No, you can't delete it.
Can't,
Okay.
can't delete no accounts, man. You got to keep those accounts around.
Okay. You got me stumped. Mind you, this like I'm like 2 months in, so yeah, help me out.
Listen, man. When I do these questions, I'm not expecting people to answer these on like a tier 3 level. I already know based on like how some of the first things someone says kind of where their level will be. But it's typically just an exercise I do with people if they say they want to be in the SOC, because I give them an alert that they would 9 times out of see in the SOC, and then they start helping them figure out how their thought process needs to be when it comes to working in the SOC. So the other thing you got to do is clear out all the sessions, because they can still be logged in other places. And you want to make sure that they don't exfiltrate any data. So clear those sessions out. And of course, reset the password. So yeah, see, so Sabino just said it for success sign out. So clearing those sessions out. And then that's when the other investigation gonna be, you're gonna figure out, okay, how would they compromise? What happened? Was anybody else compromised? Did we see any data exfil? Like that's when you start getting into the other part of that. The main part you were doing really just the responding, so you can start the bleeding, so we don't got a widespread breach on our hands where we got lateral movement and they go into different people's accounts and stuff. So, but you did good, man. I think you're in a private chat. Let me go in the private chat real quick, and I'm going to put this email in here so you can email me. That way we can set some up, man. You was a good sport, and I'll definitely set some up so we can talk in the near future.
For sure. I done talked to you on LinkedIn before, from a little town called Monroe. So I had to be watching.
Okay, bet. Either hit me up in this. I put my other email in here. So either just tell me who you is through the email, or just hit me up on LinkedIn, and I'll remember, and then I'll shoot you a link to where we could talk about some other stuff.
Baby, appreciate y'all for with everything y'all do, because spreading this good gospel is what everybody need, because man, we just didn't know how wide and vast it is and how easy it was to get in, or is to get in. You just got to have people to tell you the direction to go and guide you. So I appreciate it.
No, man, for sure, man. I got another live that's gonna come up one day where me and someone like my director and manager friends, we're gonna react to a lot of the answers people have given for those, and then try to put people on game with those questions.
For sure. Keep pushing. All right, man. Good night, y'all.
Appreciate you, man.
All right, appreciate you, bro. Hey, Henry, it's getting a little late. I gotta drop off for tomorrow.
Yeah, it's late where you at. It's 12:45.
Yeah. I appreciate everybody. It's good meeting everybody.
Nice meeting you.
See you when I see you.
All right, man. For sure. Yeah. Chris gone. I sure if I say we might have to do a joint episode. He coming out here. I don't know when. I got to get Will back out here so we can redo our episode. I feel like all my other early episodes was trash when I did them on Zoom, and so I want to redo all of them. I feel like best foot was not put forward on those.
Actually, we didn't use Zoom. It was something else. Restream.
We probably used Riverside back then.
Riverside, yeah,
Riverside FM. That was all right.
I like Riverside, but back then I didn't know how to edit the way I do now. Actually do the three type of camera angles and all the other stuff. So it's just me and you split screen the whole time. So yeah. I want to give everybody an update on this real quick, and I think we're gonna check out one of these one or two of these TikToks that
they're long.
They're going?
No, they're long in length.
Okay.
TikTok?
They're extensive.
Yeah.
HD.
Because I didn't even get into it's been over a year and I haven't started the role I was hired for. That might be one to talk about. But I didn't even get into Meta the layoffs.
Meta World Peace.
Mm-hmm. Have y'all ever watched NBA Trash Talk?
Mm-mm.
It's funnier because when it happened during the time it happened, it was funnier. But Ron Artest and them on there, Paul Pierce. But let's talk about this real quick. For those who've been keeping up with the show, they know that North Korea stole U.S. workers' identities, and they were using them on a laptop form as if they were actually Americans. And these people had 5-6 jobs at a time, and the work was not good at all. So I can also see why people sometimes no to remote work, but also the companies these people was working for had horrible verification processes, so they deserve to get played. They lucky I can't play that Moneybag song. All right. The U.S. Treasury Department has sanctioned a network of individuals and front companies linked to North Korea's Ministry of National Defense. That sounds like, did y'all watch wrestling growing up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When they called was it Gangrel in them, or somebody had something called the Ministry? I forgot what it was. Gangrel, Undertaker. Somebody in the chat gonna let me know. The DPRK continues to rely on its thousands of overseas IT workers to generate revenue for the regiment to finance its illegal weapons program and enable its support of Russia's war in Ukraine, said Acting Undersecretary of the Treasury Bradley T. Smith. The United States remains resolved to disrupt these networks wherever they operate and facilitate the regiment's or is it regimes? I'm say regimes. Facilitate the regimes destabilize, uh, destabilizing activities. Today, the Treasury's Office of Foreign Assets Control sanctioned North Korea front companies, Korea Onsong Shipping Company, and Chosun Trading Corporation, as well as their presidents Jong In Chol and Song Kong Sik. Oh, y'all fact check me on these words. It's late. OFAC also sanctioned Liaoning China Trade, a Chinese company that has supplied Department 53 of the Ministry of National Defense, a weapon trading entity that also generates revenue using IT and software development front companies with electronics equipment, including notebook and desktop computers. Due to these sanctions, U.S. organizations and citizens are prohibited from conducting transactions with sanctioned individuals and companies. Furthermore, all assets linked to them in the U.S. will be frozen, while U.S. financial institutions and foreign entities involved in transactions with them may also face penalties. The State Department also offers up to $5 million for tips that could help disrupt the activities of two other North Korean front companies, Yanban Silverstar and Velocis Silverstar, and their employees. Over the last 6 years, these companies have generated over 88 mil in illegal remote IT work schemes. Don't it suck every time we read this stuff? Like being a straight arrow is like you get peanuts compared to these dudes finessing the system.
We had a whole conversation about this at work with the like CISO, and they were talking about how companies make it hard to do the right thing with a whole bunch of bureaucracy, trying to keep your stuff secure because you have to do the MFA, you have to do all these different measures to make sure that you're not sending data to other companies or to other people who are outside of the organization. But then if you wanted to be on the other side and hack stuff, it costs you like $100 to like download some software, and then you can get started immediately, even if you aren't really good at it.
For sure. You could just do some social engineering, figure out somebody's weak points, get their passwords, and run it up for a little bit.
You can get somebody phone number out and about at the club, and then log into their laptop.
That's why all those breaches, that's why it's so important, because like they're getting these social security numbers from somewhere, and I have a feeling they come from all these breaches. The North Korean IT workers who refer to themselves as IT warriors. Hey, you know what? This would be an article for Marquise. Impersonate US-based IT staff by connecting to enterprise networks using US-based laptop forms, something that the FBI has warned for years. Circumventing US and UN sanctions, North Korea sends thousands of IT professionals abroad to generate revenue. The workers hide their real identities to fraudulently secure freelance IT contracts worldwide. However, the North Korean government keeps up to 90% of their wages. Dang, they got them in the 360. Generating hundreds of millions yearly to fund its weapons programs, including mass destruction and ballistic missiles. As the FBI repeatedly cautioned over the years, North Korea maintains a large army of IT workers trained to conceal their true identities to secure employment at hundreds of companies in the United States and worldwide. After being found and fired, some North Korean IT workers have also used insider knowledge to extort their former employers, threatening to leak stolen sensitive information online. Hey, I ain't mad at it. Ain't no honor amongst thieves, no way. I'm not mad at it.
Yeah. Have you heard about like the fake colleges in other countries and stuff?
Yes.
In order for people to be able to get these jobs, like I remember, and also they had like these fake staffing agencies too to get more information from people. Like I got a phone call from somebody. They asked me for all this information. And I'm like, I looked it up, and it's like, okay, they actually have a real website. And then they asked me for like my driver's license. I was like, okay, this is a scam.
You should have told 777-9311.
I think Marquise is in the chat.
Yeah, he think I'm talking about him, but I was like, no, it's another Marquise.
Oh.
Yeah, somebody.
So they said they kept 90% of the wages. So it said over 6 years they made $88 million. So they've kept $79.2 million of that money. Hey, he funny. Look at this, because our last live stream was about the H1Bs.
Oh yeah.
That's crazy. No, what's funny is Marquis' brother name is Marcus.
That's funny.
Are they twins?
We're in the back. Yep, they twins.
Okay.
Let me see how I can want to play this TikTok real quick. Because I want to see if it's going to play the right way for us. If not, I'm going to have to open it the way. So y'all let me know if y'all can hear it once I share it. And then if not, I'll figure out how to share it so y'all can hear it. Where are we? Share this. Okay, so tell me if y'all can hear this.
It's not playing. Oh.
Nope.
Okay. That's why I figured y'all weren't going to be able to hear it. Okay. Give me a second.
Work the magic.
And Edge. Destiny, you hold it down while I figure this out. Do the rapid questions.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and do a quick round of rapid fire. So you have to choose one or the other. So me and HD have done this before. Just gonna be different things. Let me get to my notes. One sec. So it's easier to go through. Okay, so starting now, Python or JavaScript?
Python.
Python.
Python for sure. Let's see. AWS or Azure?
AWS.
AWS.
Desktop or laptop?
Desktop.
Laptop.
Touchscreen or a traditional monitor?
Touchscreen.
What?
What about smartwatch or fitness tracker?
Smartwatch.
Yeah, watch.
Smartwatch for me. Wired headphones or Bluetooth?
Bluetooth.
Bluetooth.
Udemy or Coursera?
Coursera.
Company in April of 20.
I'm gonna pick
I
Udemy.
started a job offer for a company.
Let's see. Study on YouTube or read documentation?
YouTube.
YouTube University.
Live workshops or self-study projects?
That was
Live
hard.
workshops.
Live.
I'm gonna say live too. PC or console?
April of 2024.
For gaming.
Console.
January 14th.
Oh, console.
Console for me too.
For a company.
TikTok or Instagram Reels?
TikTok.
Neither
I'll
one.
say TikTok. I'll say TikTok.
I prefer
Instagram.
TikTok.
Just the quality is a little bit better.
Okay, 3 more. Spotify or Apple Music?
Apple Music.
Apple Music.
Actually, no. YouTube Music better than both of them.
I agree with you there. iPad Pro or Surface Pro?
iPad Pro.
If I want a PC, probably Surface Pro.
I like the iPad. And finally, Alexa or Google Home?
They have neither but Google Home.
Google
for sure.
Yeah.
Alexa don't listen.
I was thinking that, but I ain't talked to Alexa in a while, so I had to make sure.
She don't listen still.
I disabled all of those. Siri, Alexa, everything's been disabled.
They listen
As
to
you
you
should.
constantly.
But yeah, he used ChatGPT. All right.
Yeah, ChatGPT, cool. It don't be listening
It's
nonstop.
like Apple got their intelligence already stealing stuff from your phone anyway.
It's only getting what I'm telling it to understand.
You know what? They had a whole video talking about ChatGPT, like remembering things about you, and you would like log into ChatGPT and they'll say, "Hey, how was your midterm last week?" And then you wouldn't put in the prompt; it would just greet you that way.
It has a memory, so not shocked. It has a memory, and you can delete stuff out of the memory.
Yeah, but like for the application, but like the actual model itself doesn't store any information, just like the application.
Hey, before we keep on going, did y'all see my shirt though?
Who is that?
Triple H. That Triple H?
The Cerebral Assassin, the game.
Oh yeah, it's Triple H.
One day I'm gonna start the podcast off with the music, and I'm coming in and I'm spitting the water up in the air like I'm Triple H. I'm gonna have a
screaming
with the jacket. Any of you
and
guys
I'm gonna come
AppSec?
through like this.
No, I'm not an AppSec. I think we got some people in the In the Discord, it's an AppSec.
I'm not an AppSec either.
But let me present this so I can let everybody lay it down.
Did a little bit of AppSec, not a whole lot.
Because you know that boy Lee, he got to lay it down too.
He hit it. This guy, bro, I'm trying to tell
Somebody
you.
in this.
See if I can get words for you. All right, see if y'all can hear this. Can y'all hear this?
Yes.
Can you turn it up?
14, 2025, and I've been to start that job.
It's very faint.
These companies
What about now?
low down. Okay. Literally, so I applied and interviewed.
HD, can you
Yeah.
pause it real quick?
It's okay.
No.
Yeah. So the reason why the sound may not be right is because you probably are sharing the whole entire screen. But if you share just that tab and then share the audio, it should sound louder.
No, I'm only sharing that window. So I'm only sharing the edge window.
Okay.
I just have it open like that, but I can manipulate it in the back end because I got it going out of its own output. So it might be louder when I do this. Let me know.
Today is January 14th,
Perfect.
2025, and I've yet to start that job. These companies be broke, low down, dirty dogs, okay? Literally, so I applied and interviewed for this consulting firm. Within 2 interviews, they decided they wanted me. I applied for a senior consultant, a senior change management consultant. They gave me an offer for an analyst. Analyst is straight out of college, no experience. Don't piss me off. Don't piss me off. So we worked through that discrepancy. And then she also, I noticed in the language, it just said project manager. Mind you, it was a change management consultant. Now, there's 2 red flags already, but I'm still going with it. I said, I applied for a change management consultant. Why does this say project manager? Mind you, I am a project manager. However, change management is my thing. It's my jam. I don't want to be a project manager in this instance. And she goes, oh, well, we decided that we just want a generic project manager because, we might put you on any kind of project. So you should have said that, right? Whatever, I go with it. Cool. Just I sign it. So they give me a contingent offer. Contingent means, hey, we ain't got a project for you right now, but we're gonna lock you in. You can't go work for nobody. And we're gonna call you when we got some because we don't want to put you on the bench. Okay, whatever. I'm going with it. And so I signed the offer. She then messages me again like a month later in May and was like, hey, I still got you on my radar. We ain't found nothing yet. Okay, whatever. Message me again later that month. Hey, we still ain't found nothing yet. Okay, whatever. I didn't respond because at this point, this is clearly a lie. Now, this is a legitimate company. This is very much a real consulting firm, and it's a real situation, but they're very much horrible people. Okay. So then randomly, I remember about this job in July, and I said, let me message her. So I said, hey, Sarah, you told me that the contingent offer expires in 90 days. It's 90 days. What's tea? And she basically let me know, oh, no, don't worry about it. You still on the radar. We still looking for a job. We still looking for you a role. If you want it, you still got it. All right, cool. Whatever. Then I get a message in October from someone named Sylvie. Like, hey, I'm Sylvie. You previously was working with Sarah. Sarah ain't your recruiter no more, but she do still work here. Woo, I don't care. Are you still looking for a job? Because I'm going to keep looking for you one. We might have something in a couple months. A couple months? It's already been 7 couple months. And you talking about in a couple months, maybe. So I just messaged her back just for the plot, because at this point, why not? And I'm like, yeah, I'm still looking. Keep me on the radar. And she's like, okay, will do. Here we are a couple months later, aka 4. How many is a couple? 4 months later, and I still have not began this job. Companies are a scam. Companies are a scam. And this is why I am a huge proponent of doing whatever the F you want to do. And not let these people play with you. Because first, y'all started by playing me on a title and money. It was like a $40,000 discrepancy. Play me on a title, which you gave me entry level, and I was supposed to be 3 more levels higher. Then you played me on the actual job, You had me interview for something, and then you wrote me an offer for something else. And then you've yet to have me start. Y'all are broke. Matter of fact, I'm about to look up right now how much money the company brought in, because at this point, how are y'all even staying afloat? Maybe you are staying afloat. Maybe that's why Sarah had to switch around and go wherever she went. I'm curious, and I'm keeping up with the plot just to see if they keep following through. Because at this point, if she makes me back, I'm gonna keep going with it to see how long this goes. Because they will literally keep playing with you until you tell them to stop playing with you. But I'm just gonna keep letting it play, because you want to be funny, I'm gonna be hilarious.
She meant that I'm gonna be hilarious too.
All right.
And there you go.
I know what I want to lead the people with, man, because what she talked about, this pay discrepancy, reminded me of the screening call today that I was telling my about, where initially the range for the job was minimum $124,000. The max was $249,000. So you would think that I'm not gonna tell y'all what number I put down, but it was much more than 124 when they said, hey, what you want salary wise? So once they saw that the number I put down they didn't want to pay, why they just didn't just reject me? These people had the audacity to get me on the call, waste my time, and say, yeah, they budgeted the role from 130. How you budgeting the role from 6,000 from the minimum? And I'm like,
It's ugly.
they play games with the range. That's why people be like, come on, be real now. Y'all got the range from 1 to 500,000. Like, what y'all really paying, fam? Like, that was ridiculous. I was like, y'all know people, y'all tricking people, get talent to apply these jobs because that's good money. And y'all not paying good money, so y'all not gonna get the talent y'all want.
Yeah, and just be aware of red flags. Like in her circumstance, it was like a year, and she still hadn't started, and she couldn't work anywhere else.
Yeah, I think I want to. Somebody
How
said it
do
was.
you
They think it's a
force somebody to
secret.
have to work somewhere else? Like I don't understand that part though.
That part.
If y'all ain't paid me, I can work wherever I want to.
I don't even work for you.
I'm gonna say it's Deloitte. I'm gonna say it's Deloitte.
I think it's some. What did she say? Did she say it was consulting?
Yeah, she says a consulting company. I'm gonna say it's Deloitte, because that also reminds me when I first started the service desk years ago. I was a little nervous about if I really had a job or not, because I had to get a clearance. But at the time, I was not privy to how long or how short their process could be. So I kept on hitting up Apex like, yo, hey, y'all got any news on my clearance? Y'all ain't even clear, because you telling your people like, yeah, I got a job, but yeah, every day they go to work, you still sleeping in the bed. So you like, man, when I'm gonna start working? And so I can kind of feel her on that tip, because eventually I was like, man, if I didn't get the good news when I did by starting that job, I definitely was going to try to just pivot and do something else. Because I had quit my whole retail job thinking I was about to start my job like in that next week.
How long did it take?
I quit working at Target in like March of 2014. I didn't start working until like May 1st, 2014, I believe. So like I quit Target like right around my birthday. So I was like, I didn't work for about 4 or 5 weeks, which is actually a much needed break, because I went right from finishing undergrad in November 2013 right back to work. And so I didn't really have any type of like time just to relax and get ready for the real world. So that's it. Mr. Lee, man, anything you want to leave him since you're in the mountaintops right now? You want to leave him with?
The mountaintops. It's still snowing. My whole car covered in snow. Can't even see it no more. Yeah. I don't know. Just stay to it. If you're trying to make that transition into tech, actually have an intention in mind and the goal in mind, and be intentional about it. Connect with the right people. Don't connect with the dream sellers. So save yourself some time and some money by just doing it the way that is actually going to yield results, and actually come in being able to know how to solve problems rather than asking for handouts, and that usually gets you ahead a lot quicker than being stuck in the same position for a while. So that's all I got.
Yeah, man. Listen, if Lee can make it from Memphis, you can make it.
This guy again. You made it from the Shreveport, man.
Yeah, but you made it from Memphis.
What's the
I'm
difference?
Big Brr, Mr. Shiesty in them. Lee, somebody said your service is available tomorrow.
Tomorrow, no, I probably got to block
He's
that
still
off.
getting acquainted. For y'all don't know, Lee has moved away from us and he accepted a new role.
Yep, all the way out here in Colorado. So if y'all in Colorado, hit me up. I need something to do.
He trying to get that gas.
No, leave that.
What?
He said, "You put the dog in you, Lee."
I try to tell y'all, man, this guy whole character, bro.
Man, what you want to leave him with, Will?
Yeah, man, I just want to talk about, all the things that we discussed today. I think it's extremely important. The value has been realized. Really, what I wanted to give some advice to all of our emerging leaders and young professionals out there trying to get into the industry. Just stay curious, keep trying to learn new things, be around industry professionals. I mean, there's so many different networking events and conferences and things to do related to technology or business that can help you to get around the right people. If you didn't come from a good family, or if you didn't have friends who have, high paying jobs, or you may not even know all the different opportunities that are out there because you don't see the representation. But I will tell you that there are six-figure, high-paying jobs that you can get no matter what your background is. Please understand that you have what it takes if you put in the work and apply the knowledge that you're using, and make sure that you are doing more than what's just required. Not everything is just going to be written down on a sheet of paper with all the steps written out. Tech is a branch, it's a whole tree. Understand that it's not going to be a linear path to get to the role that you want to be able to be at in the next 5 years. So that's what I wanted to leave everybody with. Overall, I think that this was a great live stream. Thank you so much, HD, for having me up here.
Yeah.
No, anytime, man. We got to see what Cyber Shorty want to leave us with. I know one thing we haven't covered is, because we went a little late, but normally me and Des always end with like something we've been watching on the show. But I ain't really got something to give y'all today. I know Chattahoochee Chief wanted me to say, matter of fact, I'm gonna let Destiny go and I'm gonna close it out because I know what he want me to do. You know what? So I'm gonna honor that.
Okay. My advice is that it is 2025 and we have to get more serious about our skill set outside of just getting the certification. So making sure that you are actually able to explain concepts, think deeper, think like a security specialist, analyst, whatever it is that you're trying to go after. Don't be afraid to get creative. Use AI to your advantage. How can you use these tools or these certifications that you're studying for to actually come up with your own projects that you can actually illustrate on your resume? So I think this is the year of taking it 20 steps further past just getting that certification and thinking that that's going to get you in the door or just getting that degree. You have to do a combination of different things in order for you to be able to best illustrate your skill set. So again, don't be afraid to use the AI tools that are available to you to dive a little bit deeper and better understand on how you can illustrate and showcase, the concepts that you're learning.
There it is.
Perfect. Now, let me try to close it out real quick. So I know he wanted me to say something about this show. So let me see. I've been wanting to say it's the whole episode trying to say, Big Mama McIntosh hang with the brothers. But y'all don't know, this movie is called Blank Check. If you got Disney Plus, it's about a young boy who gets a blank check, and he writes it for $1 million. And for about a week, he living his best life. But he didn't know that the money that he got was stolen. And it's a one of them cult classics that's a Disney movie that everybody had seen, along with like movies like Smart House and some of them other ones like Up and Away. But what's my boy name? Tone Loc. He look like him. She look like him. Up there go no twin brothers. Man, you think I'm finna fight them in all this? I'm finna get on the water slide. Oh man. But nah, in all seriousness though, man, we got some good stuff coming for y'all. Like, I know one of the last streams and then the episode I did with Bryson, we was talking about like kind of like surviving in tech, but I got a live stream coming up where we're going to talk about how to thrive in tech in corporate America, do's and don'ts, and what you should do. Just like how Before the Billions was talking about, like if you want to kind of move up and get a little bit more visibility in the corporation and show your worth. So we're going to talk about a lot of that stuff. So you definitely want to bring your pen and pencils to that. I'm also going to do an updated version of like how to get in cybersecurity in 2025. So keep your eyes peeled for that presentation. And yeah, we're going to, like I said, we're going to try to go live like every week, hopefully, even when we go to the studio, go live. And yeah, I really like it. I think this is building a bigger bond with everybody. Like I said, y'all join the Discord. And like I always say, we Gonski, we out. See y'all next week.
No, he never said that.